What's up, YouTube? Every once in a while, I browse PoE Ninja looking at builds, and I see some numbers that just makes me feel inadequate because of how much damage they're able to push out. And the profile in question is Iva Atomic Blonde with 324 mil Power Siphon. Now, even when I was doing some theory crafting, I think my Power Siphon only reached around 120 million. So I'm going to take a look at this profile, see what shenanigans he might be up to, and how he's actually able to push the damage to 324 million, and whether this build is legit and whether I would enjoy playing it or not. Now, after I go over this profile, I'll also look at the updated Gauntlet RIPs, and there are some to be seen, including one that may affect my future placement in the Gauntlet. And for people asking if I'm playing Endless Heist, I will be playing it after my Gauntlet character dies. I currently have two level 90 characters, an Inquisitor and Ascendant still. So immediately, this guy has some pretty good stuff. There's rings backwards that are probably mirrored, and he just has a bunch of really insane stuff. Like, what are these? But basically, let's start off with the wand. This is your standard affair, your mirrored in stacker wand with T1 lightning roll. It's 1 to 6 lightning damage per 10 in, crit multi while rare or unique enemies nearby, spell damage per 16 int, and then the crafted mod with strengthen it and crit chance. Now, Crown of Eyes is usually a good judge of how expensive a person's build is. Most people will have Power Siphon fires 2 additional projectiles, but then if you get a double corrupt with +2 and +1, that means he's able to get a higher level on his Skitterbots and on his Wrath Aura and Precision Aura. And all of these are linked to Enlighten. So here he has his amulet. This amulet is actually, it is definitely as much damage as you're possibly going to be able to get. It is percent attributes and percent Awaken Orb together in order to hit percent multi by having an open suffix and a Reforged crit. And then I'm assuming he's doing Reforged Influence more likely to hit Lightning Pen and percent damage per 15 int. And then most people usually craft on percent ES, but since his goal is probably to get as high of Power Siphon damage as possible, he decided to craft on flat lightning damage to attacks. So a Series Reflection is just your standard affair. I'm actually surprised this item is not Scourged with some damage mod applicable to the build. So here, Apocalypse Nail synthesized 2 stone ring. This is the cornerstone of in-stacker builds for mirror items. I think this item has actually been mirrored a lot. So the reason this item is worth so much is because the percent in and the percent crit multi as the implicit for synthesis. I actually wonder how this item actually dropped, because since it's 2 modded, it probably dropped from a fear or someone's and it's eye level 85, so it's probably from the feared, right? Not entirely sure. But this thing has T1 in, T1 flat lightning, T1 attack speed, crit multi, so that means it's probably crafted with essences. And it also has increased elemental damage with attack skills. And then he crafted on 30 ES. He could have definitely went for another damage craft, but maybe he chose defense for this time. So this chest is your standard affair. So this one is a frenzy charge on hit 1. There's ones without the frenzy charge on hit, but this one is Awaken Orb together, I think, and until you have an open suffix, or he just has to hit 55 int on the Awaken Orb of the Frenzy Charge on hit and percent int. And then I think, this is not triple T1 prefixes, so it's just crafted on. You can do Reforce Defense more likely until you hit that, or Reforge prefixes. But pretty insane item. I think this item is also mirrored. And this item is also mirrored. You can always tell because the items are actually backwards. So he chose a different ring this time, and the reason he wants this is because he wants a curse. So on this implicit is curse enemies with connectivity, and then he also has 7% increased spell damage per power charge. And since he has 6 power charges, it comes out to be around like 42% power, 42% elemental damage with attacks. So this item is actually pretty cool because it has endurance charge on kill, and it also has it, and then it also has multi. So pretty crazy item overall. So this item here is how you can usually tell if someone's cheating, or not cheating, but if someone's using a kind of a weird setup. Most people have a clear skill 8 link with the gloves, but the problem with this build is that he doesn't care about KB. If you ever really map with KB, you will know that the main problem with KB is the damage. So if you use gloves like these, it will make your power siphon really high, but the build won't really be fun to play because you'll actually be struggling to kill mobs in like 100% deli even with this gear level. Well, with this gear level, you'll probably just one-shot everything, so it's actually probably fine. But you probably don't really need 324 million power siphon either. So now we have a synthesis belt. Now a lot of people wonder why is he not using a mage blood? And the fact of the matter is the belt actually adds a tremendous amount of damage to the build. So just to give you a quick look at it, let's import this code over. Now the belt, 140 points. This guy is kind of cheating. I'm curious how he has so many points. Does he not take these nodes over here? I think we might have found a cheater actually. Oh, he also has point blank. That's pretty interesting. The point blank is something that not a lot of people take, and PoE Ninja does consider you to be right next to the mob. So point blank is probably one of the main differences of the build. So if you want to get maximum DPS, you want to get point blank. So he's obviously not taking these ones. Quick getaway. Okay, so this guy is like a little bit of a cheater, actually. I didn't really know that. But anytime you start using, he could cheat a lot more, right? Because he could probably drop some more points and use another medium cluster. This build is, I guess he's trying to get PoE Ninja DPS. So if you do it like this, then you can see that he has 128 points, which is how many he actually has. Now, Intuitive Leap, and this is pretty good. But we were just looking at the belt earlier, and the belt you can see is, and the belt is a lot of damage. It's like 26% damage. So that's like the opportunity cost of using a mage blood. If you don't have the belt on and then you don't use these cheating flasks, you can see your damage goes all the way down to 120 million. So mage blood is very good for defenses, but you do lose a large chunk of damage, and I think it is pretty important to know. And now for the boots, it's just a standard T1 imp boots, and then your pen enchant, and it has elevated onslaught, elevated tailwind, and this guy even got elevated elusive. Elevated elusive is generally not too expensive to get, but it does add a good chunk to the cost of the boots. Now, large clusters are where you can see how expensive someone's build really is. So this guy has 35% effect, 12 int, 8 int, 12 ES, 8 int, and 2 elemental resistance. Actually kind of surprised he doesn't use spell damage and he doesn't have 4 all attributes. This one is like a perfect one. And then he has another one here. This is not 12-bit. And it has 3% attack speed. And it's also not spell damage. So he might have been playing like, what's it called, Flicker, or he bought Flicker Jewels instead because this is the one that Flicker people use, which is attack damage while holding a shield. Now, here's pressure points, quick getaway. Now, of course, everyone knows in any build now, pressure points, medium clusters will give you the most damage compared to anything else in the game. And this is only a 2 mod of Watcher's Eye. So it's 15 lightning res, 10 with wrap, and then 30% crit multi with precision. And then he has a percent in jewel intuitive leap. Now the reason you get intuitive leap is because you want to get these juicy nose attack speed and accuracy, and then 30% multi, and then another 20% crit, 20% attack damage. So pretty interesting choice. And then he also has +1 frenzy. So he's up to 6 frenzies actually. And he actually takes the frenzy in the shadow area. So here, it's pretty hard to get crit multi on wanders. So the only way you can get crit multi is actually with generic multi. So this is why every single jewel you'll see will have generic multi and then attack speed. Attack speed scales the build really, really well. So that's why you can see all of his jewels are crit multi and triple attack speed, except for one of them, which has resist on it. Now, next, this is the interesting thing. Not a lot of people actually use these jewels. So these jewels are abyss jewels, and they have a lot of flat lightning. I'm not really sure how good they are. So we could actually check it out. So 8% attack speed if you've dealt with crit recently. It's actually kind of interesting that every single one of his jewels are these. So it makes you wonder how much the percent effective curses is valued. So it'll be interesting to see. So what happens if we replace one of his abyss jewels with something else? So we take off the abyss jewel. It is a loss of 1 8% DPS. That's actually pretty crazy for a jewel. So let's say we replace it with a regular attack speed jewel, and you can see it's actually lower. So there probably comes a certain point where it's break even, where the Bish jewel's flat damage added is going to be less than scaling more multi and attack speed. And that's the case for a lot of builds where you always have to find the balance between flat damage and crit multi and attack speed, because the more you have of something, the less value it will have. So this person obviously knows what he's doing, both in terms of cheating and both in terms of optimizing his gear. And the last cheater test is the flask. If it's 70% increased effect, you know the guy is full of shit. So yeah, but he does have a Quicksilver flask, but he does have 17% attack speed with the 95% effect. So this guy is pretty much, when you do this, it's pretty much like you have a Mage Blood, except it's usable for unique flasks. So overall, profile is pretty good. It does enlighten me in showing that maybe Abyss Jewels could be pretty good for int stackers, and especially at a budget, because if you don't have this amount of int, then Abyss Jewels will probably have a decent chunk of value. So that's the main thing I would learn from this profile. And the fact that going down to point blank, if you have bad damage, then this routing of the tree could potentially give you a lot better single target, and it's probably beneficial for budget builds. And this is what I actually used at the start. So now let's go check out some of the Gauntlet rips and see if there's anything cool to watch. So it seems like there's a few more people dying. So this is up until the last time. And that's pretty much just because more and more people are probably trying to do boss, because they can't wait to play the amazing event that's Endless Heist. And I actually wish my character would die. Endless Heist would bring me so much joy. Holy moly, this person just threw a rock at the guy. Did you see that? So he raises his arms and he throws a rock. And this is what happens when you stand still. One of the cardinal sins of PoE is standing still. I'm pretty sure there's so many deaths that you'll see that just results from the person standing still. What is this guy doing? Running around, trying to do the syndicate. Please don't die to the syndicate. Alright, this guy's clip is. So he's doing research. 83 map. Seems kind of dangerous, right? It's Elrion. And what in the world just happened to him? Is this just aura stack rares with sub fizz? This is the classic PoE death, where you go, what the fuck just happened to me? You have no idea what happened. I don't know what happened. I can't really see what happened. This guy's playing DD. I'm playing DD. Probably not a good sign for the future. Flasks are all up. There's the Molten Shell up. Molten Shell ran off. Fell off. Probably, I guess the main thing you could play better is you could pop Molten Shell, ball Molten Shell before entering. So, kind of unfortunate, right? Look at the Molten Shell timer. It's almost back up. Wait, is it actually? Wow. I think it's like a split second off, honestly. Wow, that's actually so close. Very unlucky. Boss fight. Oh yeah, I like to see this. This is a plateau boss. He's killed one of the totems. This totem is going berserker mode. This is just. What? Oh, he got hit by the frost projectiles. I wonder if those shotgun, because those seasons did a lot. It might have been a shotgun death, honestly. Yeeted into oblivion, broke the number 2 roll PoE, never be where you were 0.5 seconds ago. See, this guy understands it. Yeah, so he kind of stood still for a little bit. Zai Pathfinder me. Big misplay. Seems like this is another death of standing still for too long. Trying to get a lot of damage out. This is why like builds like Ignite and that can run around a lot is very important. So I think he's using the Flash Finder tech, right? Because every time he gets hit, he gets all of his charges back. Kind of scary. I actually don't really know what the Elder Guardians do that well. So it's going to be interesting to do. So a lot of people are bossing, and these are a lot of bossing death. And this is a hidden throw. This guy is playing Scion, I think, or Ascendant. Just running around in circles. I think he's already killed one of them, right? What was he gonna die to? So it seems like a lot of these fights for the invitations are just run around in a circle over and over again. But he has phasing flash, which helps out a lot because you run into those like spikes from Unatol, and it's actually super annoying. Wow, that's actually quite unfortunate. So the most important thing for this fight, hit it, is probably to always keep track of where Toll is and make sure to never run in front of him at any time. It's pretty good. Look at all these rips helping me out and learning the game. So what is this one? Sad times? Oh no. Oh, yeah, this is a classic rip where... Oh man, he ran into the puddle here, so he gets chilled, right? Yeah, he gets slowed or something. It's not really a chill effect it shows up here, but this little debuff over here, and then he gets hit by all of the explosions. Kind of sad. That's something I need to watch out for when I do Maven. And what is this? Dido do.
These nuts.
Ritual death.
What the?
This guy's actually level 93. What even happened to him? What? Some of these deaths. I guess it's another death of standing still for too long. He wasn't even standing still though. He was just got leapt on by a bunch of stuff. That's actually so unfortunate. And some of these deaths are honestly just so random and you don't even know what happened. What is this? Plague Bear, Poisonous Concoction. Haven't really seen this build that much in the Gauntlet. I think the single target is just too much of an issue. Veritania. Oh my goodness. Veritania mobs, silent killer or not really silent. I think he got stuck on some mobs and didn't have phasing and he couldn't get through, so that's why he died. Harvest. Haven't really seen Harvest that much. Oh, this is not really just Harvest. It's the boss. Oh shit. The boss actually did a lot of damage with projectiles. And lastly, this was Shaper. Is he playing Detonate Dad? Yep. Holy moly. What is this? Ah! Was the boss low or something? I have never seen an arena this fucked up. Why would he not leave the map? Who does this? Why don't people just stack it on top of each other? What is this? This is the most ridiculous arena I've ever seen. The fact that you have still tried to do this fight after the arena looks like that is crazy. This guy is mad. Props to him, right? This is some balls to do it like that. But anyhow, that's going to be it. I hope everyone enjoyed those rip clips. There's some pretty entertaining ones because the Gauntlet is pretty much over and people are bossing. This is my current character right now, level 89. I have a 6-link finally, so we'll be able to see new bossing content for me or new rip content for me. So we'll see what happens. But thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you find more Meters, Exalts, and Mage Bloods and Endless Heists than me because I probably won't be playing it for a few days. But see ya. Thanks for watching and bye.